Olá, boa tarde, mundo. We're very rainy Portugal. We're going to do our Q&A as we go today. Sasha's going to go get her hair cut, so let's get straight into the questions. Question number 1 from Larry Cope asks, have you considered doing vlogs once or twice a week instead of a daily vlog, making these vlogs longer than your usual daily vlogs? Yes, it's something we've considered doing before, but we've talked about it a lot and we've realised that it wouldn't actually be much less work. It would probably be a little bit more, if anything, because people expect more from a weekly vlog or a bi-weekly vlog than they do from a daily. So we would have to put in extra effort, make them special individual videos, and that in itself would actually take more time. So yes.
But we have thought about it when we did talk about it still, so.
Yes. Okay.
I'm just going to lock the door.
Yeah. Also from Larry, he asks, how's the Portuguese lessons going? We've actually taken a bit of a break from the Portuguese lessons to save some funds for Christmas, and Sophia's been very understanding about that. So we are not actually taking any formal lessons right now, just studying at home in between work.
Okay, the next question is from Jane Adlington. How will you deal with the impact of constant vlogging on Story as she gets older and realises the focus is on her and starts acting to the camera, or resents every move being photographed? Well, that is quite an interesting question, and it is something that we do actually talk about quite a lot. Firstly, we don't act ourselves when we vlog, so I don't have any worries that Story will start acting to the camera or changing who she is when the camera's on, because we don't, and we've never acted like that. So I know some vloggers do, and a lot of people on YouTube do that kind of acting and challenges and not being who they are on camera as off camera. But with us, we are very much who we are and we don't act at all, so I'm not worried in that sense. But we are very aware of when we are filming Story, and as she grows older and realizes what's happening or what we're actually doing, we will adjust how we film on a day-to-day basis when we're filming Story. So if one day she wakes up and she's like, Mum, Dad, I don't want to film today, or no, don't film me, we won't ever film her, and we'll either not vlog that day, don't make a video, or we'll change what we film, or we'll make it about us, or that kind of thing. We'll go back to the days when it was just us and Eden.
Well, there's plenty of things going on about in a day that we can film to avoid Story being on camera if she doesn't want to be. And also, if there are any safety implications down the line with regards to being so public on YouTube, we will also react to that accordingly. We obviously don't want people like looking for Story or like trying to search out our home address. Those kind of things we think about and talk about a lot, and we will be very conscious of that, especially going forward.
We'll be more selective maybe of what we film. Like, we won't change our vlogging style, we won't change how we film, but maybe we'll become more selective of when we pick up the camera to film. The next question is from Terry Gonzalez. Hi Terry, and she has a few questions. So first of all, what nut do you take daily for a specific vitamin? I can't remember what it was. It's a Brazil nut, Terry. Really good for you. Selenium, magnesium, zinc, lots of goodness in a Brazil nut, and you only need one a day to get loads of recommended dietary intakes. All done. Also, another question from Terry, are you worried at all that Story isn't getting enough protein? No, we're not.
This is an age-old kind of concern towards veganism, but vegan or not, I watched this documentary from a doctor, and he basically said that nobody's ever come to the doctor with a protein deficiency. It just doesn't happen. You get protein from broccoli, you get it from greens, you get it from vegetables. Pretty much everything you eat, and some things you drink, you get protein from. And we track a lot of what we eat, and we take care to make sure we get all of our vitamins and minerals and stuff.
You get a lot of protein from unexpected sources as well, like chia seeds are packed full of protein. Lots of seeds are nuts.
We eat a lot of seeds and beans.
Beans are a major protein source as well. So no, we're not worried that she's not getting enough protein, and I think it's when people think of protein, they automatically think of meat proteins, but there are a lot of other different kinds of protein as well. So,
and also, like, if you think about it, some of the biggest animals in the world are herbivores, and they just eat grass and they get enough protein. So yeah, we're not worried about that at all.
And the last one from Terry: what kind of vitamins and supplements do you take as vegans to keep healthy? We don't take any supplements. We did start to take a vitamin B12 supplement when we first went vegetarian, but we felt that we didn't actually need it, so we don't take any actual vitamins or supplements.
No, but we do take some kind of some powders sometimes, like
we have
pea protein powders. Yes? What? You've got the biscuits in your hand,
Oh,
Story?
you're done with the biscuits.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Pea protein powder, hemp seeds, but basically we just eat more whole raw foods.
Yeah, and we add those to our juices and our smoothies and stuff almost daily, so that's the only kind of supplementation really, even though they're not specifically supplements. Alright guys, I am shooting out the car to go and get my hair cut, and Jay's going to answer another question.
Yeah, Mummy's going off to get a haircut. Story and I are going to go in the park. Alright, Story's keeping herself busy in the splash splash. So the next question is about Story. Is Story still going to health checkups and taking free vaccinations? How about you? Have you been to any public doctors in Portugal? And if so, what's your impression on it? So this is from Claire Afonso. Yes, Story does go for her checkups and vaccinations, but they get less and less frequent. So in the beginning she was going every week, and then as she get older it was every month. More splash splash, yeah. And now it was like every 3 months and then every 6 months. So her next checkup will be now, actually, now that she's 2 years old. They see if she's responding to balls properly and responding to how many words does she know. So there's a big list of things that she'll have to tick off, and we'll be taking her for that checkup soon. With regards to vaccinations, yes, she's had all of her vaccinations and she's had extra ones too. We paid for the meningococcal vaccination, which wasn't extra and wasn't provided by the government, but everything else was on the plan, as they call it here. So Story is fully vaccinated, and the healthcare here is pretty good and pretty similar to the NHS in the UK. As residents here, we get it for free, general healthcare in the public hospitals. All of Sasha's healthcare when she was having the C-section done was provided for by the government, and that was free. So as residents here, we do get the healthcare plan, and we thought the hospitals were pretty good. The doctors here are pretty good. They're a bit more direct, but nothing problematic, and yeah, we've been quite happy with the healthcare here. Me personally, I haven't been to the doctor for anything. Sasha went for one little checkup, but nothing. I think she went for a smear test. Yeah, she did that here. And everything's been very professional. It's good here. I don't have any complaints about the healthcare, the free healthcare in this country. Okay, another question about Story from Claire Afonso again. Hi there, I've been wondering, does the name Story Ember have anything to do with November? No, actually, it was quite interesting when we read your question because we've never seen that before. Ember was because we were burning a fire in our living room when we were trying to work out Story's name, and we could see the embers rising inside the fire, and Sasha was like, how about Ember? And I said, oh, that's a lovely middle name. But it doesn't have anything to do with November because Story was supposed to be born in October. Her due date was then. So November was a chance thing. But it's lovely that Ember is also in November. So thanks for asking that question, Claire. Yeah, you want Daddy to go on the swing? Okay. The next question is from Dora Silveira, who says, what are for you the main pros and cons of working at home? Obviously, the main pro is that I am working from home. I can choose my own hours. If I need to go out and spend some time with Story, we can do that whenever we please because we're in charge of those times. You want to come off? Come on in. Go splash splash. Go, go. Just being able to have flexibility and to do things the way we want to. So yes, definitely one of the main pros. Another major pro is being location independent. Because we're working online, we can work from anywhere in the world that's got a decent internet connection. So that means we can work from places like this or from anywhere where we can get connection. So that's an amazing pro. But going on to the cons now, definitely being in charge of your own hours is not as easy and nice as it sounds all the time. you have to be able to manage yourself, and that's kind of one of the hardest things for me. Being disciplined enough to get things done properly is a skill that you need to learn over time, and sometimes you will find yourself working way more hours than you were before when you had a boss and you weren't working from home independently. So it's not all bells and whistles. Sometimes it can be quite a lot of anxiety. Sometimes it can be a lot stressful, more stressful than you think. Generally, I think the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to this kind of lifestyle. I mean, being able to spend this time in the park with Story and still make a video at the same time is part of it. Another con I think I should mention as well is not being able to separate work from play. Nowadays, we feel that making videos and being in our home office is also where we watch our programs and where we have our leisure time, and it's a good idea, I think, to try and separate those two. So that leads me on to the advice segment. If anyone's thinking of doing this and working from home, try and create a separate space in your house for work and a separate space for leisure and play. Otherwise, when it mixes together, sometimes you don't know how to disconnect from your job, and it can be quite stressful. Also, try to find a line of work that you can be really passionate about, so that when you are doing really long hours into the night sometimes to provide for your family or to provide for yourself, you don't feel so bad about it because it's something you really enjoy anyway. It's not easy. It takes a long time to start generating income, and I think as long as you're expecting that from the outgoing, it's definitely more rewarding in the long run. You got my hand? Are you going to attempt to climb that, Story? That's a bit big for you. Do you want to try anyway? Yeah?
House.
Okay, we can try. Hello. What are you doing in there? You can't reach the big one, can you? Hello. Oh, your hand can go through. Oh, there you are. Oh. So this is definitely one of the pros of being able to work from home. Okay, the next question is from Devon Austin, and they ask, do you have to do visa or border runs every 90 days like Costa Rica and Thailand? Haven't seen you do any. No, we don't have to do anything like that. We are temporary residents here in Portugal for 5 years, which means we have all the privileges of an actual resident, minus a few. And after 5 years, we can apply for full residency. But I'm not entirely sure what we have to do for that yet. We've got another few years left to worry about it. The process for us was quite simple in the end. We needed to get a few bits of paperwork, proofs how much money we earned, go to the local council, and we paid €15 each for our residency certificate to be issued for 5 years. That's all we had to do. But we know that being from the UK, it changes a little bit. If you're from America or from other places in the world, the system is a bit different, but I can't advise on that because I don't exactly know how it works for non-UK citizens. Devon also wants to know, what's the medical system like? Kind of already covered that. It's pretty good. Obviously, we had Story here and didn't have any problems. Is there affordable healthcare in your area? Well, most of our prescriptions are quite cheap. We get prescriptions signed out from the doctor, and it costs maybe like €3 or €4 to go and get the medicine at the pharmacy. So medical care is either free or inexpensive. Is the school system free? The public school system is free, and obviously any kind of independent school you have to pay for, but we need to look into that more and more. Are there many English-speaking people living in Mortágua? There are, but we don't go seeking them out. I know that there's quite a few English expats out here. In most of the shops, they don't speak English, but there are a few people that work in, like, say, law firms and some of the banks that speak English, but I would say on average more people here speak French and Portuguese than they do English. So it is a bit of a struggle, but it's not impossible. How are you doing back there, Story? You've got some sun on your face, haven't you? We're still waiting for Mummy to come back. That biscuit seems to be keeping you occupado.
It's done.
Yeah? It's almost gone, isn't it? You've gobbled it. The next question is from Leah Whitehorse, and she asked, as a non-car driver, I wonder, how well served is your area by public transport? Are there buses from your village and other villages that go to Mortágua? There are buses, and there are bus stops, but I've never seen one go past our village. There is also quite a lot of taxis around town. Generally, they're all lined up and ready to go, and near the train stations you can get a taxi. But I've never seen a local bus going past our village into Mortágua, but that's probably because I haven't really been looking for it. Every now and again I do see people standing out on the street waiting for the bus, but again, I've never seen it. So I'm sure there is, and I know that taxis are inexpensive here. You can get around for pretty cheap because our friends Vince and Linda use them, but we've never used them ourselves. But as a non-car driver, there is quite a lot of public transport here, and we've heard that the trains interstate and intercity are actually work out a little bit cheaper and faster than driving sometimes. So you wouldn't be totally lost without a car here. What's that story? What have you spotted?
Daddy.
You found a birdie, didn't you?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's on the wall. Look, Story, Mummy's coming. Wow, look. Mummy's hair's all done. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it?
Mummy, come here.
Look. No, you look very pretty. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Oh, Mum, come here.
Look,
Yeah, Mummy's
got
coming.
curly hair like you.
Mummy's got curly hair.
Eva.
Hey.
Wow.
Oh, that's fun. Fun.
Is it fun? Okay, the next question is from Derek Macaulay, who asks, could there be a revenue stream for taking holidaymakers' videos and turning them into something special, and they could share them for special occasions? I don't think it would work. There's a lot of work that goes into that kind of thing, and it's a luxury that a lot of people don't really have the money for. We've tried that line of work in the past and it didn't really work out for us, so no, I don't think so. Also, I'm thinking lots of your viewers would like a shout out. Would you consider doing this? Well, these Q&A videos are exactly that. Yeah, because we shout out everybody's name and say thanks to everybody who's been asking questions. So that's a good way to do that. Vitor Madeira asks us, have you ever thought about doing Portuguese weddings in a cinematic style? Before we moved to Thailand, we thought about starting a business doing that kind of thing and realised it was very complicated, very stressful, and not in line with who we are as people anymore.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
We got out of weddings a long time ago because it was very stressful, and so I don't think we'd want to get back into that now.
No.
Vitor also asks, have you thought about making a themed video of the week? So we've got this Q&A Friday and something else like a vegan recipe or a DIY or a how-to.
Yeah, which was an amazing suggestion, and it is something that we have thought of recently, so I think we will be going forward and doing something like that. And I do like the idea of maybe like a kind of what we eat Wednesday kind of thing like that, like maybe not just specifically about the food, so we can then put here's our breakfast, lunch and dinner, and then in the middle do a recipe, but keep it vlog style like we do with these Q&As.
Yeah, but share more information about like the nutritional side of things. If anything that we find people are interested in, we'll do something like that.
I think that was a really good suggestion.
It is a good suggestion, so we're definitely going to look more into that now that you've said that. And have you guys given up on the idea of driving around in a motorhome or a caravan? No, we talk about this a lot actually. It's definitely something that we were still very interested in. It's got a lot of complications that we would need to work out.
Yeah.
But I do think that it would be one of those things where we wouldn't go straight into full van life. We would possibly replace our car with a van and then do more travelling.
Yeah, I think it would be really nice to have a van as a second vehicle, or as something that we use for say a month at a time or a couple of weeks at a time, rather than giving up a house and moving everything into a van. With these in as well, I think it would be quite difficult to do it permanently, but it is, I do still look and I do still talk about it, so it is something that we are still thinking of. So I don't know, I think when we would do it, maybe in the warmer months, I think we would start off easy.
I think over the years we've become very realistic with ourselves and what we actually like, and we do like a certain degree of comfort to be introduced into our life at times, but we also like adventure, so we love the idea of it, but long term we would want to kind of have it as an option.
Dad in the house.
The dog is in the house, yeah.
Story's just been entertaining herself over here with the books.
Oh, well done. That's the duck's water. The next question is from Larry Cope, and he's asking, can you explain why you went vegan after eating meat beforehand? Yes, it was when I got pregnant with Story. We were talking to an Italian chef in Thailand, and he was telling us about the meat quality in Thailand and the levels of hormones in the meat, and because I was pregnant with Story, it kind of scared me a little bit, and I stopped eating meat pretty much straight away. Cold turkey.
I'm trying to get in.
There you go.
Done it.
You done it?
Yeah.
Squeezed in.
It's squashed.
So it was pretty much a cold turkey decision, wasn't it?
Yeah, the chef basically said that he knew of a child that was growing boobs because there were so many hormones in the meats that they were eating in Thailand, and the doctors were telling them not to eat it. So
Yeah,
it really
that was
opened our eyes.
specifically chicken meat.
Yeah, that was chicken, but then we started researching it, and the more you research this kind of stuff, the more you just don't see it as food anymore.
Yeah.
So for us, like, do we miss meat or dairy, which is his next question?
Yeah, that was another question.
Yeah, definitely not.
No, I haven't missed it at all. Ever since day one, I've never craved meat.
Yeah.
Since
No.
going veggie and then vegan.
Yeah.
Haven't craved it, haven't wanted it since.
I thought I would miss cheese when I stopped eating cheese,
Yeah.
but I really don't.
No. And things like cow's milk, when I have, not have cow's milk, but when I've had things with cow's milk in it before going vegan, I can now smell it and it's really prominent. So if I smell milk or egg in a item, it puts me off it now. So it's kind of completely twisted around it. I don't want it at all, and don't crave it at all either.
And have you noticed any physical changes in yourselves after going vegan? This is an interesting one because we were expecting a big change, but there wasn't really. Everything was very gradual.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say is that everything smells fresher. Like your breath is fresher, your sweat doesn't smell as much.
No, you don't.
Yeah, and you don't get as many tummy aches.
Yeah, that's what the main thing for me is. Less bloating, like completely, almost I'd say 80% less bloating after eating stuff, and tummy aches and passing wind.
Yeah.
Doesn't really happen as much.
Yeah.
So things like that definitely has changed.
I was hoping that my skin would clear up a bit more than it has, but it hasn't really. But my eczema is almost gone now, so that is a major change for me.
Yeah.
It took about a year before we started noticing any real difference.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Next up, we've got a question from Nathan Siri, who is asking, can you tell us more about your family and your siblings? Which I thought was a nice question. I've got 2 other siblings. I've got an older sister who's 4 years older than me. Her name's Nicola. And I've got a younger brother called Paul, who's 6 years younger than me. And they've both got 2 children each. So I've got 4 nieces and nephews on my side.
I've got 2 brothers. I'm the youngest of the 3, so Kamal is 2 years older than me and Omar is 4 years older than me. And I've got 2 half-sisters as well from my dad's previous marriage. So that's Nyla and Monique. You might have seen them in some of our videos too.
So I'm a middle child. Jay's the baby.
And us, how long have we been together?
How long have we been together?
We met each other in school, in high school.
Yeah, we met because we were in the same form class in our secondary school. So we met at 11 years old.
Yep.
And
we started dating at 16 years old on the last day of school.
Yeah.
And
so how long have we
been together in a relationship?
Since we were 16.
Until now.
Until now. So 18 years in total. But we did have a few little teenage breakups and get back togethers and stuff. But really 18 years, which seems very long.
Yeah, I know. We haven't talked about that for a while. So 18 years is it's almost 20 years.
I know. But we've been married for 7 years.
Yeah.
This
will be our 8th.
This is our 8th year coming up. Yeah. And now, of course, we've got a little story, haven't we?
Family.
Yeah. Okay, so last question now, and we've saved Sherilyn Sherma's question for last. You once said you spoilt yourselves with the views from your farm in Chiang Rai. How would you say the views from your house in Montagua compare to those?
Well, we show this view every single day, and I think it is on par. It's pretty good. One thing that we loved about our banana farm in Thailand was all of the trees and obviously the lovely skies and sunsets, and just being in an exotic place. And now that we've got a window that looks out over to trees and hills and farms, it's still very beautiful.
Yeah.
And we get that kind of rainy season effect when it gets to this time of year too.
Yeah.
So the viewpoint, yes, we were spoiled in Thailand, but we've had some very good views here too as well.
We have indeed, and I think for me the Chiang Rai banana farm. It was just so different, and I loved the banana trees everywhere and the banana leaves, and we couldn't see any other house from our house as well, so I really liked that as well. It felt really isolated, but there were houses around, we just couldn't see them, so I liked that.
Yeah.
Story, what do you think of the view?
You look out and see.
Oh,
wow.
wow. There you go, there's the answer. What do you like about your bedroom, Story? The birdies? Wow. The tractors?
It's the well.
It's so well. Oh, and the brim brims, yeah, of course. Can't forget the brim brims, can we?
The cars.
All the vehicular life.
You've got a bucket.
Okay, we are going to end the vlog now. It's Story's dinner time.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed this Q&A. We always enjoy doing them.
We just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's asking questions. And if you want to ask questions to us too, you can become an 8 miler by clicking the link up here.
Pulling my hair. That is it from us today. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Money the story. Mama. Bye.
Okay.
The dryers. That truck looks like a pair of eyes behind her. You've got a big bug behind you. You've got all your acorns in your pocket, yes? Okay, let's go. More balls. What colour is that? Blue. Well done. Trust Story to find the one thing in here she's not supposed to play with. Yeah?
All done.
Oh, okay. That's the end of that then.